Since December 1st, I've eaten 270,000 calories, completed 13,500 reps, and gained 45 pounds. The shots that you see are my current progress. No one said this was going to be easy, but if it's worth it, then why would it be? Hey everybody, I know it's been a little bit, but I wanted to make sure I put all this together right. So today is Wednesday. I just been getting a lot of emails just regarding nutrition. And that's the one thing that, regardless if you say you can make it to a gym, or regardless if you say you have time, you can always do that and make sure that you're following a proper nutrition plan no matter what you're doing, no matter where you are. It kind of minimizes excuses. And to be honest with you, you can see amazing results, just by changing your diet rather than having to worry about hitting the gym, just right as whatever anybody has going on, regardless, you can always eat right. That's how I feel. So I put together kind of a list of things that I want to go over today. Like I said, I've been getting a lot of emails and questions, and I think this episode I just want to kind of tackle that and kind of help with whatever I can, and kind of answer all the questions that I have, and a little bit in order. So let me see what I got here. 1 second. Oh, and also quick question. Quick thing too. I get this a lot, especially in the gym, where I'll be walking around and people will ask me, what do you do for your abs, and what exercises, and I kind of look at them. I'm very honest. I'll just say, if you're looking to see abs, like, you got to lower your body fat percentage. Really, you should be able to see abs no matter what if you have a low body percentage. Now, certain people's abs may be better, but a lot of that's genetics, to be honest with you. Obviously, you can work on your abs, and you can build them up, make them stronger, make them more pronounced. But at the end of the day, like, the structure, how it's set up is, it's pretty much set. So, like I said, I tell people really just to focus on their body fat percentage, more so than anything when it comes to getting abs. Really, to be honest with you, abs are made in the kitchen. I honestly believe 80%, of how you look is, your diet. You can, sorry, my eyes all watery. You can lift and run, do all that, and run, and you'll see people who, do all the cardio and do all the groundwork, but still don't have that set of abs they're looking to get. And really, it's like I said, you have to change your diet. You have to modify your diet. Now, don't get me wrong, cardio is amazing, but it should almost be used as a supplement to getting abs rather than, the main course of getting abs. You should always focus on your diet and then use cardio to kind of speed up the results. So, I'm going to tackle a few things. Let's see. Let's turn this into kind of like a mini coaching session. That way you guys get some information and you go, hopefully leave the video maybe learning something that you hadn't, or reinforcing what you already know. So a little background info for nutrition. I know a lot of people read, calories, and they're like, oh gosh, this thing has 200 calories, and, but what really makes that up? So you got carbs, you got protein, and you got fats. And those are the three macronutrients that make up that number that you see on the calories. Now, the reason why, I think a lot of people really got into the low fat diets is because, the more you lower your fat, the easier it is to restrict calories. The reason for that being is carbs have 4 calories per carb. Protein has 4 calories per gram of protein. But fat has 9 calories per gram of fat. So obviously, if you remove the fat out of your system, I mean, or cut out a lot of fat, the idea is that you'll drop weight quick. But a lot of people don't realize, you need fats. You need good, healthy fats. Now, I'm not saying an overabundance of anything, because overabundance, if fat, protein, carbs, isn't going to be a good thing anyway. You never want to kind of overcompensate with one macronutrient. You want to see how it fits with your body. That's how I feel. I used to believe that, to be honest with you, that I was under the same impression that carbs are the devil. I think everybody is, and I'm sure a lot of people under there are following a low-fat diet thinking that, the fats are the devil. But, every macronutrient has its place. It took me a long time to realize that if I wanted to put on size and I wanted to actually build good lean muscle, I was going to have to incorporate carbs into my diet, because the thing about it is if you want that fuel, you want if you want the fuel your workouts, if you want to actually help build muscle, you need the carbohydrates in your system just to help facilitate that. Now, it may not directly build muscle, but indirectly, yes, it'll help you get to the goals that you're looking for, especially if you're looking to put on size. Same thing with fats. Fats help a lot of your healthy, I'm not going to go into detail about that, but they really help facilitate a lot of the different processes that go along in your body. You need it. Otherwise, you'll be missing. You'll be having holes, in the system. And, a lot of times, like I said, if you're restricting one thing, you never really know what is the issue until you start putting it back. Okay, so really I want to go through a different couple of ideas or diet thoughts and kind of, talk about it. So I have the information I wrote down. I sent an email to myself, which is some of the questions and, ideas that I'm looking to cover. So, there's one form of process is the low-carb diet. And now when I say diet too, I'm saying the entire time. Now, for a competition, like I said, I'll have higher carbs in the beginning, and as I go lower, obviously I'll taper them down. What I'm covering right now is just a diet that that would be low carb from the beginning to end. So the pros of a low carb diet, obviously, are you see immediate results. Now, the reason for that being is not necessarily because you're dropping fat that fast, which is what you want to, but when you cut out the carbs in your system, your body drops a lot of water weight. The reason for that being is when you eat carbs, your body stores water weight. For every carb that you eat, I believe it holds 2.3 grams of water. So that immediate weight loss that you see, while it can make a dramatic change in your appearance, it's water. There's no way that you can lose, 10 pounds of fat in 3 days. Unless you're like, think about it this way. To burn a pound of fat, you have to burn 3,500 calories, okay? So if you were to burn, say, 10 pounds in 3 days, basically you're telling me that you're running, 4 or 5 hours a day and keeping your macronutrients the same, or cutting out 4,000 or 5,000 calories a day when most people don't even need that. So like I said, it's not plausible for that. Now, obviously, you will lose some fat, but, that huge weight drop that you see initially, that's going to be water. Okay, so that was a pro. Immediate results, like I said, it does happen quick. After that process, however, you do have rapid fat loss because your body goes into a state of ketogenesis. And what that means is instead of using carbs for fuel, your body kind of switches over to using fats. And so basically, it basically uses your body's stored fat as a source of fuel, which is why you get more results faster, because you're basically feeding on the extras that you have in your body, rather than like if you're eating carbs, your body's using that as it for energy rather than tapping into your stored fat at all times. And also, you have a large fat. One of the pros is large fat loss over the course of a set period of time. That's why people like this. You will burn a lot of fat on the program, but see, now I got to get into the cons. you know, your results can be quickly lost as soon as you return to carbs. Now, I know a lot of people don't mind low carb, you know, obviously, but I'm not sure if it's a lifestyle that you'd like to adopt forever. You have to think about when you go back to it, you know, are you going to put all that weight back on? You know, is it going to be a complete lifestyle change, or do you ever plan on eating carbs again? If that's the case, then, you know, more than likely you're going to put a lot of that weight back on. Another con is the potential to lose muscle, which, like I said, can be a vicious cycle. The reason for that being is, you know, lean mass actually helps boost your metabolism. So if you're losing lean mass, what happens is you know, your metabolism slows down to compensate because it doesn't need to, you know, rev it to that level anymore. And, you know, it lowers your rate of fat burning, and then eventually you plateau. And that's when you see a lot of people kind of giving up when they stop getting the results that they want. But they don't realize why that is. They just, you know, keep going back to the way they are, and, you know, never have an opportunity to hold that muscle. Lack of energy during workouts, especially. This is a big one because, you know, the whole point of this is to, you know, put on lean muscle and, you know, look good. But if you don't have the energy to fuel those workouts, then how are you going to get to the results that you want? You need, I mean, obviously, diet is, as I said, it's key. But, you know, I mean, if you're looking to actually tone up and put on lean muscle and look good and fill out that frame, you're going to have the energy to, you know, push yourself harder than you normally would. You have to have the energy to make yourself feel uncomfortable, if that makes sense. And if you don't, then you're not going to get the results that you want. Okay, so now here's the opposite. You know, high carb, and then maybe like very low fat. You know, you get great energy for workouts. Like I said, those carbs really help fuel them. That's definitely a pro of that, and that can, in turn, help get you the results that you want. You want to put on size. Fat loss is attainable. It won't be at a faster rate as the low carb diet, obviously. And that's, I guess that kind of trickles into the cons section where, you know, the results won't be as fast, but, you know, it's still attainable, but you're going to have to be much more patient. Wide variety of food, which, you know, a lot of people will be able to stick with it. That's one of the pros. One of the cons are, though, is results are much slower. Like I said, if you're used to, especially if you've done a low carb diet and you're used to those kind of results immediately and seeing changes on the scale from day one, which you should not follow the scale anyway, you know, go by how you look. But, you know, if you're one of those that has to kind of step on the scale to make it a realization, then, you know, that it's going to be tough because you're not going to see the results immediately. And depending on your body type, there may not be change. Like some people are very, very carb sensitive. So no matter, you know, if they put any kind of carbs, any decent amount of carbs in their system, they won't lose weight. And again, obviously, that could be very, very deterring in your goals because, you know, who wants to keep going if they're not going to see any results? It's almost, you feel like it's a waste of time. To be honest with you, and this is the idea that I would go through, I always say you train for your body type. So if you're really carb sensitive, don't eat a crazy amount of carbs because it's not going to work for you. I mean, one person may be able to eat 400 carbs a day and lose weight. You know, you may be able to eat 200. What I'm saying is there should always be good balance. You know, I don't think that you should ever cut out any of the nutrients because you do have, you know, you have a lot of options. You shouldn't cut out sorry, I got a call when I was trying to write this. You do have you know, there's a reason for each one of those macronutrients being in your system. And there's a reason why all of them can be helpful to helping you get to your goals. Sorry, I lost my place here. To be honest with you, the idea that I think that works the best is, that I found at least works for me too, is carb cycling, because I'm pretty carb sensitive myself. So I find that if I have a high day of carbs and then kind of transition into a low day, you know, it ends up averaging out to be, you know, a decent day of carbs without having to, you know, sacrifice my intensity in the gym or, you know, without having to go too low on the carb side. So it kind of gives you a little bit of balance. If you have any questions about that, you can inbox me and I'll explain that in further detail. Otherwise, just you go to Google. If you type in carb cycling, it'll give you an idea of the method that is and why it's useful and why it works. So also, I also get to this list. People just don't know what to get. Uh, when they're at the grocery store. They just don't understand what kind of foods they're looking for. So I put together a small list of things that you can get on your next grocery shopping list. For protein section, any like chicken is fine. I would go with chicken breasts, skinless. That's the route that you want to go. Lean beef. Any kind of fish typically. I mean, salmon's going to be a little bit fattier, but it's omega-3, so it'll be good for your system. Tilapia, tuna, orange roughy, those all work. Tilapia is really good, really light, and it'll help you cut weight like crazy. It works every time. Protein powder, obviously, if you want to grab some, a good one is Dymatize. It makes an ISO 100. Also, iForce makes a really good protein, and they have really good flavors. I know a lot of times people have issues putting down. They have the stigma that that protein is it's bad. I mean, or it tastes bad, or But you go grab some iForce protein, and it'll be like red velvet cake, or vanilla cupcake batter. I tend to throw that. I make peanut butter balls out of it. I can make a protein shake, it's really good. And you don't have to worry about sacrificing taste with it either. And then turkey. Turkey's another good one, like ground turkey. Get the lean stuff though. I noticed that the fat kind of add up if you get the regular ground turkey. So for carbs, I just put together a short list, but some things that you can always get that will be good for you would be oatmeal. Try to, if you have to do the packets, I understand, but try to stay away from that. The longer you cook it, the slower digesting it's going to be, and that's what you want. You don't want something hitting your system immediately. You want it to have to digest, and that's the difference between like eating straight sugar carbs and oatmeal carbs. Is sugar digests gets absorbed into your system immediately, which is why it has a better chance of becoming fat. Oatmeal takes a second. It turns into sludge in your stomach, and it takes a second for you to digest it all. So it gives your body a constant source of energy rather than just, immediate. And that's not what you want. Sweet potatoes, brown rice, and, any green veggies. So that could be like broccoli, asparagus, just whatever you like. But any of those will do. And some good fats, all natural peanut butter. So if you look on the label, the ingredient should say peanuts, or maybe peanuts and salt, but that's it. Anything else, you shouldn't be getting, like Jif and Skippy. Cut that out. Avocado, great source of good healthy fats. If you wanted to cook with some oils, I would say maybe coconut oil. That's a great one. Or if not, just use the spray that has 0 calories. You find those anywhere. And almonds, that's another good source if you want something to snack on throughout the day. Really good source of fats. And always say no to soda. Anything really high in sugar. So when I say high in sugar, I'm thinking like 20 grams and above in a serving. You should really stay away from that. If I'm being lenient, to be honest with you, whoever really eats a serving, I would typically say anything about 10 and above, stay away from. But like I said, I can't eat a serving. No way does that. And the easiest way to kind of think of what you should be eating is it should be as close to how nature intended it to be. If you have that, then more than likely it's going to be pretty good for you. If it has to be processed and made in a factory or is man-made, then it's a safe bet that it's not going to be what you want to eat. A couple of guidelines I also want to throw in here. Make sure, I say minimum, you should be lifting 3 times a week. Obviously, we're talking about nutrition, but, if you want to see the best results from your nutrition changes, throwing a good weightlifting program in there will definitely bring the best out of the foods that you're putting into your system. Cardio, it really depends on your goals. Like I said, if you're looking to lean up, I would start slow and then build up, because if you start really high, what's going to happen is your body's going to get used to it, and you're going to have to keep that level just to maintain your results. I would start slow, maybe 30 minutes every other day, and then slowly kind of add and rack it up and see how your body reacts to it before you end up just jumping into the deep end and doing, an hour of cardio right off the bat. And just also, so you know, the more cardio you do, typically the more you need to eat. You don't want to burn all that muscle off of your frame that you're working really hard for, especially if, which most people do, they'll just do cardio by itself without any weight training. Now, I strongly don't recommend that, but if that's the route that you're going to go and you're stuck in your ways, then, make sure that you're eating to supplement that cardio that you're doing. I know it sounds counterproductive, but at the end of the day, you're going to burn a lot of muscle off and you're going to end up plateauing, and that's not what you want to do. I also recommend 5 meals a day. If I was going to say, when you break it up, 3 regular meals and maybe 2 snack meals in between them. So when I say snacks, like, some almonds or and some protein or, something simple. You don't really need to turn it into a full meal if you don't have to, if you don't have time. It's probably about 2 to 3 hours in between each meal, I would say, would be the best, idea. So yeah, I mean, that's really some of the small information I can help. I know this video has turned into like a 20-minute video, but I hope this helps. If you have any ideas about or questions about nutrition, just to kind of get you started in some ideas. And last but not least, if you have any questions or if you need, something a little bit more in depth, always seek out a personal trainer. They'll definitely, help get you to your goals. If you have any questions or need any ideas on where to go, if you're in the Scottsdale area or, Phoenix area, please feel free to hit me up. I'll point you in the right direction. I think about, and here's an idea too. I wanted to finish with this. I know a lot of people are like, oh, well, eating healthy is so expensive, and I'm like, well, yeah, I get that, but at the same time, I did this little thing here. What was it? I said that 7. Okay, yeah. So if you're doing 35, 70, yeah. So let's say you eat out even once a day to a fast food restaurant. And you spend $5 when you're there. The easiest way to kind of think about that, or when you think about getting a personal trainer, even for that, I mean, here's the best thing about this too. Some people say I can't afford a personal trainer, and I actually know, personal trainers that are in that $200 range a month that would really be able to set you up. But, I think the easiest way to kind of think about it is this: if you're eating 1 meal a day out, and that meal is $5, over the course of that month, over the course of that week, that's going to be $35, right? Over 2 weeks, it'll be, $70, and then over the course of a month, it'll be $140. So just by cutting back 1 fast food meal a day, you'd pretty much be set to pay for a personal trainer and get to the results that you want. Now, this is January. Obviously, a lot of people have a lot of New Year's resolutions this year. So think about it that way. Just cut out that 1 fast food meal a day, and you can pay for that personal trainer to get you the body that you want. I think that, that's an easier way to kind of think about it and wrap your head around it. Because, these are your results. These are what you want to do. So I think that, you have to it's a little sacrifice to be able to get to where you want. If it was easy, then everybody'd have a 6-pack. So yeah, that's it for me today. Like I said, I know I've been talking for 23 minutes. But, I feel like it's good information. If you have any questions, please feel free to inbox me. And, like I said, keep sending me questions because I will address them in videos. I've gotten at least, almost 40, 50 inboxes in the past 2 weeks just asking about, nutrition and stuff. That's just the reason why I put this video together. So hopefully this helps a little bit. And yeah, see you for next episode. A lot of good things coming up. So hopefully I can talk about that the next time you watch my video. Thank you for supporting everybody. And see you next time.
Check it out. I want to make it.